What's up, guys?
Hello.
Robin Melissa here with Flip Market Flipper. Excited to be on with you guys tonight and go over some cool stuff. What we are discussing tonight, can you really make a living on eBay in 2020? That is what we're going to talk about in just a minute.
And reselling in general. Like, can you make a living doing that? And is it, a really profitable business, especially now with everything that's going on? So we're going to dive into that. So if you're watching the replay, then awesome. Thanks. We're going to dive into that in just a minute. And if you're here with us live, thanks so much. We're
welcome.
We're excited to get to the comments. As you guys, as we're talking, if you think of something, throw it in the comments. We'll get to the questions as we go, and then a little bit more at the end too. So
that's why we like doing this, guys. We like to be able to answer your questions live. So whatever you come up with while we're going over some tips and tricks, please throw them in the comments. That's what we're here for, is to try and help you guys get better at this flipping gig that we call, that's our main gig.
Yeah.
This is what we love to do. So love helping people out with that as well. So.
And this year is definitely a crazy year.
Killer!
No, 2020 has been one crazy year. So crazy roller coaster ride.
It has.
So,
but for us, like I tell a lot of people, it is what you make of it. We're having the best year of our life, just because we're not letting it determine who we are. We're still being safe. We're still trying to do as much as we can to prevent and be safe during this whole craziness that's going on. But at the same time, we don't want to curl up in a ball and just wait for something bad to happen. So we're having a great time. We're having the time of our life, and it has never been better to actually jump into this flipping gig for sure.
Yeah, and we're going to dive into why reselling is such a recession-proof business in just a little bit. We have a couple of different topics we want to talk about and why that is, because it really, there's really no better time to be a reseller for sure. Even just last week we were talking about what we picked up in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And we've got 2 offers on those things already. So we're working on the bus wash. Somebody might be buying the bus wash.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, because we just got it listed, I think, less than a week ago. And we have a couple people watching it. And we sent out one offer to somebody who is contemplating it. So yeah, that is in the midst. And one of our range, the 40-inch range that we bought, it wasn't going to work for us. So I actually threw it on there. I threw that on like a couple days ago. And I already have somebody interested in that bad boy. Who is I sent an offer to, so we'll see if that pans out as well. So 2 offers in the mix right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. We'll keep you guys posted with that. But super excited for what's going on with us and and Flea Market Flipper for sure.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So our biggest question that we wanted to talk about, we sent out a video this morning to a lot of you, is can you really make a living selling on eBay and reselling in general? We sell on eBay. About 85% is what we sell.
80 to 90%.
And then the rest is usually local, like Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. But for the most part, we sell on eBay, most of our items. So is that something that is doable? Like, can you make a living from it? And that's something that we were forced into. We didn't get to, we had always done it on the side, and then we were kind of forced into it. And we're so glad that we were. We needed that push to make us do it. So,
that's it.
What do you want?
No, definitely. Some of you guys know our story. It wasn't something I flipped for over 20 years, and we've made good money at it as a side income just to do fun stuff. So, this is one of the things that we kind of got pushed into it. I lost my insurance with my job. Melissa, we had our child number 3 was coming along, and Melissa was planning on staying home because we couldn't we couldn't pay for daycare and that kind of thing without. It just wasn't a good mix. So we had already decided before my insurance got cut that we were going to do this, that Melissa was going to stay home. And then once it got cut, it was like, okay, what do we do? This is like starting from scratch. And this was 5 years ago. So starting from scratch, and that's when we went full time into it. So, and it's been the best thing we've ever done. It's been amazing for our family. It's been amazing for our relationship. But at the same time, we've made great money at it.
And we've had some growing pains. Like, one of the biggest things, and we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight too, is that helped us with our business is freight shipping. Like, that's really when this was always our side income. It's been great extra money, great vacation money, but like, can we do this full time? And that's when you had to provide for 3 little kids at the time. I mean, still we have them. We still have them. They're a little bit older now, but still 3, tiny little kids and us. And how can we do this with our family? And freight shipping is something that you found, and it was totally worth it.
Yep.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, and also dive into how it's recession.
Yeah, and definitely both of the freight shipping. Think about what we talked about earlier in the call is the the 2 items that I have on the line right now, and these are not they're not huge items. Both of these items are going to be freight shipped, and I have not had to have special tools on either one of these items. One is an oven and a range. I could easily move it. I picked it up by myself with a dolly and moved it around. I had to have a trailer, but anybody can rent a trailer to start this business. When you need the trailer, you can go rent it and then take it back, and $20, $25 a day to rent a trailer. It's not that difficult to do. And the other was the bus wash, which people see it and it's huge, but all I did was pull that sucker up onto a trailer and then pull it off the trailer into my shop, and that's all that I did. So yeah, you do not have to have crazy tools to be able to freight ship. And that's how we started. We didn't start with forklifts and all the kind of stuff that we do have now. We just started doing it. And a lot of people in Flipper University are the same way. They go into it. They don't go into it with forklifts and pallet jacks and all that kind of stuff. They start into it slow. They get really good at it and start to see the money that's involved in it that you're able to do when you freight ship. And then you start excelling with it, and you get better and you get more tools, and you get better and you get more tools. And so it's just really cool. It's cool to be able to do that and start with absolutely no crazy tools, and then get into it and grow with it. So,
I mean, just for an example, like the 2 things that we have for sale right now, what did you pay for them, and what is going to be the profit for them?
Definitely. The bus wash, you guys know, if you haven't heard about it, the bus wash
is a big one for
it. It's huge. But like I said before, we just pulled it up on a trailer, we drove it home, pulled it off the trailer. Anybody could do it. I'm not this monster big muscular guy. I'm just a normal guy. But anybody can do that, and the same thing with the other one. So we paid for the bus wash $500, and I have it on the line right now, an offer sent out for $14,500. So after all said and done, we'll make, after the fees and all that stuff, we'll make over $13,000 on this deal. So, and a sweet deal. And then the cooktop, or the range, we paid $200. I think it was $200. Yeah. Was it? No, $200. Okay. Yeah, it was $200. We paid $200 for that bad boy, and we have an offer out right now for $2,300. So we will make over $2,000 on that deal. So yeah, just a couple things that we just bought within the last
week and a half,
2 weeks that are out on the market, and we have people that are interested in it. And I'm pretty confident that they will sell within the next week because of the amount of watchers that we're getting on them and the people that are looking at them. So pretty confident we'll have them sold pretty quick. So, but freight shipping is what allows us to do it versus keeping it into our local market, taking a lot longer to sell it. When we offer freight, the guy who is looking at the bus wash is in, I think he's in Michigan. Yeah. So it's going to go from Florida up to Michigan. And the only way I can do that is throwing it onto a pallet and shipping it out. So I
can't wait to see you build that pallet.
That's one of the awesome things about freight shipping. So yeah, it's really, really cool to be able to do that. And the other one, the range, I don't know where that one's going, where the guy messaged me from, but at the same time, it's not that big to put on a pallet and then be able to ship it. So
yeah, so let's dive in. We're going to get to some of these questions in just a minute. We have some great, hi, everybody who said hi. We're so glad you're here.
What's up?
But we'll dive into some of these questions in just a minute.
Yep.
But just some reasons why reselling is recession-proof. So
of course.
We know like the world is crazy right now. We don't know what's going to happen. Like people are losing their jobs, businesses are closing. Like we know it's not, great out there. But so why is reselling something that could be good in a recession? We're going to go through a couple of these. Like,
yeah,
one of them is people are looking to buy at a discount. Like if you are trying to save money because you don't know what's going on, people are going to be trying to save money. They're going to go on eBay instead of buying it retail. It just like, that's what a lot of people do.
So yeah, definitely. We'll reiterate what we have on the market right now. The bus wash, that is a $25,000 piece of equipment. It has 3 hours on it. So it's almost brand spanking new. The guy who's looking at that for $14,500, he's going to save almost, what is that? I think 24, 25, anyways, 10,000 bucks on that to be able to buy it. And he could either go and spend an extra $10,000, but a lot of people are looking secondhand, looking on Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, they're looking on eBay for these items to be able to save that money. The same thing with the range. It's over a $5,000 range. They're going to get it for half off. For the price that they're going to get it for, and it's in great shape. So that's what people are looking for in a recession. There's trying to stay a little bit smarter with their money, and they're going to shop for those items. If they can't find it, if they don't want to spend the money for it new, they're going to look and see what the best item that they can find in the best condition for the least amount of money. And that's where they're going to shop around, and they're going to start using Facebook Marketplace. They're going to start using eBay, all these venues that we sell on. That's where we get our audience from. So our buyers from is people who are looking to save some money.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like people are definitely looking at all these different avenues. So another reason would be people are selling a lot of items for cash. Like people need money right now. Like people have bills to pay. They need to sell all their extra stuff. And so that's a big reason people sell stuff for pretty cheap, and you can get it for pretty cheap. So.
Yeah. And there are businesses that are closing down. They have to get rid of the stuff. If it's a restaurant, sad, it is. It's very sad, but somebody has to get that equipment. Somebody's going to buy it no matter what. And that's where it's at. There's going to be businesses. I mean, Melissa's found businesses of kid care, like Chuck E. Cheese businesses, that kind of stuff that are closing down because of the pandemic, and they're unable to keep their doors open. That stuff has to be sold one way or another, whether it goes to an auction house, whether the owners themselves sell it. But there's going to be deals out there, and this is where we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg for what's going to come because of the trickle effect of the down the line. We can't see we can't see any of that yet because we're still so new into it. We don't know what all the effects are going to happen, but we do know people are going to lose their jobs, and there's going to be businesses that close down, which it's unfortunate, but at the same time, to be a flipper, this is the best time to be a flipper because you can find those deals and then you can turn around and make the money for the people who are looking for those items.
Half the time people like give that stuff away too. Like they're either they went bankrupt or they can't, like whatever, people are auctioning it off, and it's like next to nothing, and sometimes giving it away. And you can get it if you can find a way to pick it up and store it for a little bit. You might not even need to store it for a long time, depending on, how quick you get it listed and whatnot. But it's definitely, there's money out there everywhere.
Yeah.
And we see stuff all the time. We can't even pick up all this stuff because we have too much stuff that we're trying to get rid of.
Exactly.
But there's money everywhere.
There is. There's money everywhere to be had. It's just a matter of getting out there, doing the shopping, the research, and all that kind of stuff, and then selling it. So this is, to answer, I'll go ahead and answer our question. Is this is a great time in 2020? This is the best time ever to jump into flipping, just because of there's going to be so much stuff out for the next year and a half, 2 years that is going to be liquidated. It's going to be liquidation city all over the place, all over the United States, all over the world. People will be getting rid of stuff, and that's the kind of stuff that you want to buy at the discounted rate and then be able to offer it still at a discounted rate to the people who are looking for those items.
And it's not just big stuff; it's little stuff too.
It is.
It's all kinds of things, but we do tend to focus more on the bigger items because
to provide for our family. We have to. That's what you said earlier. Is we had to step it up to figure out how to make that extra money, and that's where freight shipping worked for us because we stepped up our game, started doing freight shipping, and the more money came in that way. So definitely, that's what worked for us. But we never recommend everybody starting out, jumping in, buying trucks, trailers, forklifts, any of that kind of stuff. Start where you're at. That's what we recommend people doing, and then move on. If you enjoy it, if you enjoy the process, the systems, keep doing it and get better at it, excel at it, and then start buying tools, whatever you need to be better at this business for sure.
Yeah. So another reason would be more people are doing stuff from home. So instead of going to the gym, they're going to work out at home. So they might buy a nice treadmill instead of going to the gym and running on their treadmill because people don't want to, be around people right now.
Exactly.
They're redoing their houses because they're at home a lot. They want their houses to be nice if they're there a lot more. So those things people want to buy them. And so nice things, if they can find them at a discount, they're going to buy them.
Yard equipment, patio furniture, outdoor stuff, all that kind of stuff because people are at home more. That stuff sells like hotcakes right now. That you can find some amazing stuff that people are looking for because they're staying more at home. So it's not just commercial stuff. It's just stuff that people need in their everyday life. And they realize it once they're staying home more, and then they're buying it. They're looking for it to buy. So,
and people downsize their home too. Like as people, unfortunately, people have to relocate jobs maybe or whatever. They lose their job and they have to go somewhere else. So they have to downsize their house. So they're getting rid of stuff. And so that's another way to find items. Like people, when they move, moving sales are some of the best because you can get stuff really cheap because they got to go. Like they got to move out of there. So they want stuff gone. We've had people call us up, hey, my friend's moving. They don't know what to do with this thing. Can you come take it? Sure, we'll come take it. And they're just like, just take it. We don't know what to do with it. So just by us moving it helps them out, and then we get to sell it. So we've had that happen a couple times because now people know that what we do.
And rather than trashing it, they call us up, which is greater. We like to keep stuff out of the landfills. That is a huge perk versus something going on the side of the road and getting trashed because people don't have a place to put it or even to move it. They call us up, and most of the time we'll go pick it up and we resell it and make great money. you guys, we've done blog posts on the stuff that we've gotten for free out of the trash and from friends. Made thousands and thousands of dollars with no money invested, just because of this is what we do and people look for us to give stuff to. So but
it wasn't always like that. We didn't used to tell people what we did because you're kind of like, hush, hush. But now it's like, whatever, we do this. And now people like, they'll give us stuff because they don't want to deal with it. And that's a huge part. A lot of people ask, well, why would somebody just give this to you when they could sell it? Because people don't want to do it. Like, they don't want to go through the hassle of listing it and shipping it. And like, that's what we do. That's how we make money. So
that's why we make our money.
And that's why they'll be like, all right, just take it. I don't have to deal with it. So it definitely works out for both parties. For sure. And then another reason why, it's more recession proof too, is that not everybody is affected by a recession. Like, and not saying like we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of years, whatever, or next year, but like people still are going to be in good jobs and they're looking for items. So if you think like everybody's like, well, everybody's losing their job, that's not the case. So people are still looking for those high-end items that we're looking for. So somebody still wants to buy a bus wash because they might be starting a business. Like so many businesses start off during this time too. So you never know. So that's another reason why. Of course, that's a great reason for sure. So I didn't want to elaborate on that, but we have a lot of questions to go back through too. Cool. So can we go back through here?
Start hitting some questions.
All right. Do you have anything else you wanted to add? In the last 5 months, have sellers given the same common reason for selling? I don't know. It's
all different. They're even like some of the things, the guy that we bought the cooktop or the range from, and I'm just going back to these because these are things that are fresh in our mind. He bought that to flip it. So he got it from either a home renovation that they were doing or something. I don't know exactly what, but he actually got that to resell himself. So he put it on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. I don't remember where he bought that from. But when we were up in North Carolina, that's when I saw it, and we got that. The bus wash guy, he worked for a local dealership, and the dealership was going to throw the bus wash away. They bought 2 of them, and they only needed 1, so they were going to throw it away, and he said, no, I'll take it. So he got it for free and then made $500 on the deal by taking it and putting it up for sale, and we paid him $500 for it. So there's all different reasons why and where people are selling. Some people are flippers. The people that I deal with at the flea market, they're flippers, but they flip to a different extent of buying storage auctions or storage lockers, and then they bring them to the flea market and sell them piece by piece. And then I buy it from them, but they're flippers, just different flippers than what we are.
Different market.
For sure. So there's reasons all over there. They're always, for years and years, this is not like this business just came into being. For years and years and years, we've been doing this for over 20 years. There will always be people out there that there will be plenty of stuff to find, always. Recession, non-recession, whatever it is, there always will be stuff out there that you can buy. And in larger cities, there's thousands and thousands of items posted daily on the different venues, OfferUp, Let Go, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, all these places. There's stuff that you can find to buy and resell.
You just wish you could go get it all.
Yeah. There's tons and tons of it. So for sure. So great question.
How do you cover you and your family with insurance? We actually now have MediShare. So we've had it probably for 3 years now, and it's been good. We pay some more out of pocket, but there's different, they have deductibles. They're not really called deductibles, but they have, you can have different, like insurance. So you can decide to pay a lot more each month or less. So they've been pretty good. I will say. It's
kind of like catastrophic stuff. If something major happens, they'll cover it. Otherwise we pay a lot of stuff out of pocket for a low monthly.
But we have a really high deductible, so you could pay more and have more with it. So.
And we're a pretty healthy family. So we're exercising, we're eating right. So that's why we chose to go this route with it. We could pay a lot more and have a lower deductible, but we decided not to, just because, like I said, we're healthy. We try to take care of our family.
But they've been pretty good to work with. So and they accept a lot more doctors now than they did even when we started a couple of years ago. So there's a lot more people in their network. So how do you manage storage and moving large heavy items for all your inventory?
Yeah, definitely. We started out like some of you guys that know us, we started out just doing this in a spare bedroom. Before I even met Melissa, I was using the spare bedroom in my house to do pictures, to box, to store, all that kind of stuff in a spare bedroom. And then as we got better at it, we got into a shed outside, and I started storing stuff in that. And then we went into a storage unit. All this is probably the steps that we got to where we're at now. And now we have one storage unit in a warehouse that we have stuff housed in. That we clean stuff there, we fix stuff there, we store stuff there, and then when we sell it, we ship it out of there. So it's just taken years, but we tell everybody, even everybody who goes through Flipper University, is start where you're at. Don't go out and get a storage unit. Don't go out and get a truck and a trailer, a forklift. Yeah. You start where you're at. Once you start to like it, you can get stuff, even for larger items. You don't have to have a trailer. You can rent a trailer very, very inexpensively. Larger items usually have a high profit on them. So you can rent a trailer for $25.
It's still worth it.
It is. It's worth it to be able to do that, to move something. And yeah, this is the cost of playing before you buy stuff or buy tools that you need to get to those larger items. You can do it just wherever you're at. And yeah, you don't have to go to the bus washes if you don't want to. But that's
those aren't normal for us.
No, that's a lot of profit in that. So that's why we jumped onto that one for sure.
Yeah.
So
cool. Thanks for the U-ship tip on a previous session. It was a lifesaver. Awesome.
Awesome.
Hold on. Let's see. Could the flipping business be considered a home-based business, like where taxes can be deducted? Yes, if that makes sense.
100%.
For sure. Like it's definitely a self-employed, home-based business, and that's how we record it on our taxes. We do now have a CPA that we work with, and we just keep track of all of our income, expenses, everything that we do, all our inventory, and then I give her all the numbers at the end, and she helps us with taxes.
Yeah.
But yeah, keeping good records definitely is super helpful, and you can write off a lot more stuff
that's one of the perks
when you're self-employed.
Yeah, so self-employed. Yeah, you can write off a lot of stuff that you're not allowed to write off when you are an employee.
Yeah.
Your gas, your vehicles, the stuff that you have to work with the business.
Yeah.
It allows you to write off a lot more of that stuff because you're self-employed.
Yeah, and if you take a road trip and you go find inventory, that's helpful too.
Exactly.
So we like to go find stuff everywhere we go. So. Let's see. Equipment must be moved. Oh yeah, another reason why things might be for sale. The equipment must be moved. The landlord insists. Yeah,
exactly.
That's how I have a friend that it was actually she manages rental properties, and people had left and just she called us up. Hey, does Robbie want this? The people left it. I don't know what to do with it. And so yeah, sure thing. We'll take it.
Yeah.
So for sure, rentals are a big thing. How do you figure out what to pay for something you're going to sell?
Great question. And that's where this goes into our business is not a gambling business. We do research. So if I find something that I'm interested in, I try and find a value on it. I find out what it retails for, the bus wash. I didn't do the research on that. The guy that I bought it from, which I don't usually recommend this, but I knew a little bit about this. He told me it was the company that bought it paid $25,000 for it. So I knew that, but that's what I would do. I'd start on Google, Googling the name brand, finding a company, trying to figure out what it retails for. And then we go onto eBay and we check out what has sold in eBay. We check out what is listed currently in eBay. So it's just a little bit of doing your research, your due diligence on whatever item, especially if it's a larger item that you're going to spend a little bit more money on. You want to do the research on it. Before you put out the money, before you invest in it. That's what's so amazing about this business.
Yeah.
You don't have to go out and buy something. Like when I started this business, I had to find something. This was before you had smartphones, before you could do anything just on the fly. I had to go out and hope that what I bought was worth more than what I was paying for it, and then flip it. Or go out and find something in a thrift store, go back home, look it up with dial-up internet, find out if it was worth the money, then go back to the thrift store and hopefully it wasn't sold and then buy it. So we have so many tools at our fingertips right now that you can easily find and research and do all that stuff before you spend money on items. And that's what we always recommend people doing anyways. You do the research before you buy it. You want to make sure that you have a good chance of making, if it's worth it for you to invest the money into it, to make more money when you go to resell it. So
yeah. Sorry, I was reading something. I was thinking of something, but so how do you get the bus wash for $500 when it's worth $15K? Is there something wrong with it?
This was nothing wrong with this one, and it just goes to one of those things. Who was that, Mark?
Yeah.
This one actually, I talked a little bit about earlier. The guy who sold it worked for a company that bought two of them. They only used one in the company, and they were going to scrap the other one. He worked for that company, and he said, "No, I don't want it to go to the scrap yard. I want to take it." So he ended up taking it. They gave it to him for free, and then he listed it for sale. And we found it in a local area where we were traveling. North Carolina. We found it in that local area, and then we brought it back. I cleaned it up. I just wiped it down because I had bugs on it from driving it 700 miles back to the house. But anyways, I just cleaned it up and we sold it. So there's no rhyme or reason why you can find deals. But this guy was very happy to get $500 for it because he didn't pay anything for it. He got it for free.
So sitting in his driveway.
Exactly. So and we take it to the bigger market, and that's where we're able to offer for what it's really worth versus somebody who sells it in a local market and you're limited. And we probably couldn't get the money that we're going to get out of it if we didn't offer shipping with it. And I do free shipping I will do free shipping on that bus wash. So
and how much will shipping cost probably for that?
Well, the one that I checked, anywhere from $500 to $1,000, depending on where it's going to. That's roughly what it's going to cost for shipping. So I have it listed for $15,500. I figured $500 to $1,000 into it, into shipping, and that's kind of where our numbers are. So.
I sold my nice treadmill in like 2 days. Yeah, we were talking about exercise equipment. Awesome. I decided to keep one of the Schwinn Gold Airdynes instead. That's awesome. Awesome.
And you can find those Airdynes pretty reasonable. Sometimes people want a lot of money for them because they're great bikes. But a lot of times people think that they're an older model and they'll sell them for $25, $30, and that's a killer deal. So awesome. Good job.
I saw under Craigslist free a large Snap-on toolbox with some tools. The ad said in the barn of a house they bought. Yeah, people like that. That actually happened to us too. Like when we bought our house, we bought it from an older couple. Like the husband had already passed, and so we bought it from her, and we had his whole shed of tools, which you don't sell tools because you like them too much. But we had all people do. The whole house came furnished. We did sell some of the furniture and that whatnot, but people do. They just want to move, and so a lot of times leave sell with that or leave the shed full of stuff. So that's awesome.
Snap-on toolboxes are expensive, so that's a killer deal if you can snag that.
Yeah. What do you freight ship through? I would have more sales, but not sure about freight shipping.
Yeah, freight shipping. And guys, check it out. This is where we started in this business with U-Ship. We've spent thousands and thousands of dollars to learn the skills of freight shipping. That's one of the reasons why we put Flipper University together, and people pay us hundreds of dollars for our knowledge on that. We started, and that's what I recommend everybody doing, is going into U-Ship. Every area is a little bit different, but that's what we'll recommend you going and doing. But like I said, there's too many people that pay us for Flipper University for the skills that we have. And it's unfair for us to be like, and I can't do it in an hour. It's not something that I can sit here and say, go do this, go do that. It is. It's a process, and that's why we put it together. So, but exactly where we started was U-Ship. So jump in there, get in there. It's U-Ship has changed the industry for freight shipping. The freight companies don't have the monopoly on the shipping now, because U-Ship allows people to bid on shipping, freight companies to bid on it. So like I said, that is the best place. That's what we tell everybody to start with. Go into there, and it took us years to get to where we're at right now by trial and error with what we do. But yeah, that's the best place you can start, and you will be able to find some reasonable freight shipments through U-Ship, 100%.
And we are opening Flipper University on Thursday. So, and we decided, a lot of people have been asking us about separating the freight course, so we decided to go ahead and separate it. So it is on its own. So we'll be emailing that out if you're on our email list. So let's see. Have you ever shipped painted furniture? I sell painted pieces from a booth, but never shipped before. Suggestions.
Don't even get me started on furniture, because I think that is the biggest, the most opportunity missed is furniture flippers, because you guys do beautiful pieces of furniture.
So unique too.
It is, and it's one piece of art. I would call it art. Yeah. And you're limited to your local market of however many it could be, 40 to 60,000, depending on if you're in a big city. You're limited to that local market. So where if you threw that joker on eBay, you could get so much more money, and people would be willing to pay an extra $200, $300, $400 to ship that item to them, because it's a work of art, and it's a one of a kind. So yes, we have shipped furniture. We love shipping furniture. We don't do that many repurpose. Melissa wants to get into it more. But yes, the freight shipment on your pieces, if you're doing larger furniture, it would be amazing and very, very beneficial for you to learn freight shipping, because you can bring it out to a larger audience and ask a lot more money for the items. You're not only getting it in front of a lot more people, but it's worth a lot more money too when you get it to a larger audience. So it's really worth.
I did those one night stands. Well, they were one of my first ones too. That I did chalk paint on them, and I think I bought them for $20 each, and I think I sold them for $375.
Yeah, almost $400.
Yeah, and we
for nightstands.
Yeah, and then also the antique ones you wouldn't let me touch.
No.
He said, "Do not touch these; they're too pretty."
They were gorgeous.
So, and I'm not really an expert on painting furniture, so I didn't touch them, but we still sold them for $400 plus shipping, and those didn't even go freight; those went FedEx.
For FedEx,
So yeah, definitely furniture. If you offer shipping, is definitely there. Like, we're not expert furniture flippers, but we'll ship it. And that was actually the first thing we started with, was a freight shipping, was with a dining room set. That
monster dining room set with, I think it had like 10 chairs. It had a buffet with it. And yeah, that, if you guys do know our story, I mean, that was the changing point for us.
Yeah.
We bought it locally for $300
at an auction
and tried to sell it for
$750.
Yeah, $750. Could not get any bites on it locally. I saw stuff on eBay that was selling with free shipping, or even if they offered shipping. So I was like, I'm going to throw this bad boy on eBay and I will figure out shipping. And that's kind of part of our story with freight shipping. I had to learn the process of what we do to get it down as cheap as we can get it. It took me thousands and thousands of dollars trying out different freight companies, learning how to do insurance on freight, doing all this kind of stuff. This is what I have learned throughout the years. And now we have it down to a science. It's a piece of cake to do. But with that thing that we were talking about, the table and chairs, we sold that for,
only in like a week later after you listed it.
Couldn't sell it in locally for $750, but then we actually threw it on eBay and sold it. I think it was
$22.50
or $22.50 on eBay, shipping. And then I charged them on shipping. I think I charged them $400 or $500 on top of it. So, but those were good bones. These were expensive, well-made chairs and tables. So you can't flip junk. You guys who are doing furniture flips know bones. You know that it has good bones. It's antiques. It's mahogany. It's real wood. It's not particle board, cheap stuff. So you guys know that stuff, but that was the changing point for us when we sold that sucker on eBay. We were able to figure out shipping, paid a little bit more than I would have been able to do it now, but still we figured it out. We did it,
and it was still worth it because we would have only gotten $750.
Exactly. Well, I would have taken $600. I would have doubled our money. So I was trying to set a little bit higher to come down, and we still made great money on that. So that was our turning point to go into freight shipping.
Yeah, and it was definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Did you say bus wash or bus wash? Would you explain what that is?
Yeah, a bus. It's a bus like a school. Well, not really a school bus, like a commercial charter bus. One of those big, tall buses, hold 50, 60 people, something like that. It's a wash that spins.
It's got one cylinder. So like when you go through a car wash, and then you've got those cylinders on all the sides. It's one cylinder up, so it just goes all the way around the bus. The bus, instead of, because a bus can't fit through a car wash.
Yeah.
So
it's electric.
Yeah.
Boogie woogie woogie woogie. No, it's electric. So you walk down the side, and the brushes spin while you turn this little gas pedal or whatever you want to call it, handle gas, and it just walks down the side of the bus and washes it with that brush. It's 10 foot tall. The whole machine, I think, is almost 12 foot.
Yeah. So it could be RV wash too.
Yeah, like any of that stuff. So
wash all buses and RVs. So it's a little handy.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not a normal thing that you would normally see for sale.
Definitely not normal, and that's why I like stuff. I like stuff that's weird and not normal.
And what did you use to ship your stuff? Yeah, we talked about that. Well, definitely you ship, and also FedEx. We ship a lot of stuff. We don't do a lot actually with USPS. We do a lot of stuff with FedEx, and then we started to UShip. Yep.
And FedEx and UPS freight will be on UShip too. They're in there competing for your business. Yeah. So
going for the person who's going to go for the least amount, like, and they'll even come to your house and pick it up. Yep. Which is super convenient. We did that a couple times too. Do you always look for items in the areas that are 500 miles away?
Well, if you don't know, we're on a road trip, so we don't always go that far out. Yeah, typically I look in our own area, but when I'm on the road, I try to make the most of our road trip. And I try to pay for the road trip with flipping items on the road. So I'm trying to buy stuff that I can bring back, sell, and pay for our whole road trip. And yeah, this will easily pay for it. Just one of these items that will sell. So yeah, no, we don't always do that, but when I travel, and we love traveling anyways, when we do road trips, I'm always looking for items. In this instant, I didn't have the capabilities of bringing back the bus wash from North Carolina or the oven. I didn't have the capability of doing that, either one of those. Actually, I could have done the oven, but not the bus wash. So, but the guy wasn't available for the oven while we were there. So I set it up once we came back. We left like 5 days later, drove back up, picked it up, and came right back. So, but that's kind of the post that Melissa did before we went. Would anybody do that for $15,000? Would you do what was it, 10 hours?
11-hour drive.
11-hour drive up there and back. And to me, I love driving. I mean, I do a lot of learning on the road. We listen to podcasts, we listen to books. So I absolutely love driving, and I'll do it in a second, especially to make that kind of profit. So that's why we did it.
It was worth it, and it's a fun trip.
It is.
So it was good.
Cool.
We only went under one bridge that was a little bit.
What happened?
We got a little fuzzy. Okay. One bridge that was a little iffy. We had to slow down because we were going to put the bus wash down, but we ended up driving with it this way.
Yeah.
And so it was 14 foot or something, and we're coming under the bridge. Are we going to make it? But we made it.
Yep.
So all was good. How much did you end up selling for? We haven't sold it quite yet.
Yep.
We're in the negotiations right now. So
it's only been listed about a week.
Listed for a week. Yeah.
So it's still in the beginning, but we did have a serious offer on it. So we're.
Do you have to worry about the height?
For what?
That's what the question is. Do you have to worry about the height? When shipping it, do you have to worry about the height?
Some freight companies will not take anything over 12 foot, it might be.
How big was your crate for
this one?
Harley-Davidson sign?
I think that was over 12 foot. The height, yes. The height-wise.
It does matter because it has to go on a
it's got to go in the back of a semi-truck.
A semi, yeah.
And I think they're only 8 foot. So you have to have it under 8 foot, which on this case, I will lay this thing down and build a pallet around it. So it will ship on its side. But yeah, so
then it'll just be really long.
Yeah, it will. And lengthwise, I don't think it has to be 12 foot. I think it can't be over 14 foot if I'm not mistaken. But different carriers have different different criteria for shipping through them. So it all depends. You can get it done one way or another. And for me, I mean, I probably would do a road trip and deliver it
if we had to.
if I had to for some of our items. I try to make the most of it. Buy something else while I'm delivering it, bring it back and sell it and make some more money. So that's just kind of one of the perks to us doing this business. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy driving, and I enjoy spending time with our family and being able to do that stuff.
Any advice for handling extremely heavy merchandise when you don't own heavy equipment?
Yeah, I would start with a dolly. Anything, that's how I actually did start, just a heavy duty dolly, and don't buy it from a store. Don't spend a ton of money on it. Keep your eyes open. Look on OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. Start looking for some heavy duty dollies in there. And you could also do pallet jacks. You can get pallet jacks really, really cheap to be able to move. I don't know how heavy of equipment you're talking about, but that's the entry level way to do it before you get to forklifts and other stuff like that. Definitely start with. They even have pallet jacks that will lift items from the ground up into the air that you can put them into the back of a truck. So you just shop and keep your eyes open for that stuff. We never recommend you going out paying full price for it. Find some used stuff. Just keep your eyes open and look for a good deal. Start that.
We've built pallets in the back of trailers and trucks before, so you don't have to have equipment to lift it. So if you can put it on the pallet in the truck or the trailer, then they take it off for you.
Yep.
So, or if you don't have any of that, like a lot of times, I don't know why our thing keeps going weird, but our camera, sorry. But like we've had people we build it in the driveway and they come pick it up. Yep. So that works.
That's what I said, guys. If there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
There's so many different options with this business without having equipment. You can do a lot of stuff and you have a lot of opportunity just to start. But you have to realize you can do it. There's a way to do it no matter what. Wherever you are right now, if you want to start this business, you can start right where you're at.
It doesn't have to start with big stuff.
No,
but if you're at that point, like that's definitely a step forward.
Yeah.
So I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Sorry
guys.
that
our camera's being funny, guys. Somebody said, their screen is buffering. I don't think it's your screen. I think it's our camera.
Yeah, it's weird.
I might have to reset it. Sorry about it. I won't reset it now, but sorry about that. I have some speaker stands to sell. Should it take it apart before I ship to save money, or that make customers less motivated to buy it because they need to assemble it?
No, that's not that big of a deal. Yeah, definitely a good question. But no, if I was you, yes, I would take them apart. If it's not a huge speaker stands, you're not talking crazy time or effort to do it. I would do it and wrap them separately and get them in a smaller box if you can do it. 100% I would do that. And you can even put a small thing in your listing. Hey, these are going to be disassembled. 3 bolts, 4 bolts, disassembled, whatever it is, right. To make it affordable to ship. And most people will understand that.
Most people
Plus, nowadays you can find almost all the instruction manuals online, so you can even print that if you want and send it with them, or take a picture of it and send it over to them as you're taking it apart. Label screws if you have a complicated one. Yeah, just do stuff like that. And yeah, I would definitely, I do that even for freight stuff. I take stuff apart to get it as small as I can, because that's a lot of times you're going to get charged on the size of the item that you're shipping.
Yeah, that was his follow-up question. Do you disassemble it? Do you give instructions to reassemble? Yeah. You can print. So we printed a lot of different manuals offline. You can send it, even if you're not disassembling it, you can just print a manual to an item, and that's sometimes nice to just add into your item too.
But even if you can't find a manual, just take pictures of the item while you're taking it apart. You can do a video of it. You can do whatever you want that you want to send to the buyer so they can put it back together, and it's not that difficult. But yeah, that's just thinking ahead. But for sure, I would do it. I wouldn't stop me from doing it for sure.
Vic said, Melissa, I'm willing to work for you guys for free. I love your business model. Sure do look happy. Thanks, Vic. Glad to have you with us. How do you guess the weight of some of the large freight items?
That's where you can also go to manuals online and find the weight of an item. You can find schematics on a lot of stuff and do it that way. Or, I just estimate. I kind of have an idea because I've been doing it for so long. I kind of can look at something or push it around if I know I can move it. 500, 600 pounds, something like that. If it gets any heavier than that, I always overestimate on the weight. You never want to underestimate for freight stuff, but I always overestimate a little bit. And yeah, I can get very, very close to it just by doing it. But if you can't do that, then you can find schematics online that will tell you what the dry weight is, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I recommend people doing.
But definitely overestimate. Don't underestimate.
And if you're doing multiple items on a pallet, weigh one of the items, multiply it by 5, 6, whatever you're selling, you have a better idea. Plus, know how much the pallet weighs. Pallets roughly are 80 pounds if you are to that point. Most pallets in that area, 80 to 100 pounds. Anywhere 60 to 100 pounds, I would say 80s on average of a pallet. And then you just add everything up that's going onto it. That's the best way to estimate stuff.
And weight doesn't even really matter that much with the freight stuff, because they like it more dense. So it doesn't, like if you're going to add an extra 100 pounds, they don't really, it's not that big of a deal for them because they're lifting it with a forklift. So don't think like, oh, it's going to be an extra $1,000 for me to ship something that's an extra 100 pounds. That's not
it doesn't work that way for freight.
So they like it dense because then it's easier for them to ship. So.
They want it short, stocky, and heavy. That's what they want because it won't flip over in trailers. So you definitely want heavier stuff when you're shipping freight. It doesn't make it more expensive. It's better for you.
How do you check the item to make sure it works before you buy it?
The bus wash, I actually had an extra, the guy gave me a charger with it, but I don't think it was the right charger. I had an extra 24-volt charger from being in this business for years. I actually have like 4 or 5 of them. So
like 4 or 5 every 2
I plugged them in and it charged up and it was fine. He showed me that it worked before I bought it.
Did he send you a video?
He had a video there, so I could see that everything was working on it, but it only had 3 hours on it. Chances are stuff that, and you could tell it looks like it's brand new. You can tell that kind of stuff that chances are there's nothing wrong with it. Plus he knew the backstory on it. The oven, the guy didn't know that much about it other than I think he might have taken it out of the house. And I couldn't test it for gas because it's a dual fuel oven. Yeah. So the oven itself and both ovens, the bread oven and the other one, because it's a 40-inch, both of those ran on electric, and then the what are they called on top? The grill, burners. The burners were natural gas, and I couldn't check that. And so, but I put, the previous owner stated everything was in working condition, stuff like that. But I was unable to check that. And that for natural gas stuff, it usually doesn't go bad. The little gate, the little man, my mind's not working tonight. The little thing that regulates, the regulator for the gas. Sometimes that will go bad, but they're very, very inexpensive to change. And this thing looks like it's in great condition. You could tell it wasn't over abused or anything like that. It wasn't all beat up. So chances are there's nothing wrong with the oven as well. A lot of stuff that I buy, I try to check it myself. You can go on YouTube, find out how to test stuff. Even if it's not working, you might be able to find a video on YouTube how to fix it. Yeah. Exactly. So there's a lot of, like I said, guys, this is one of the best times ever to be a flipper for so many reasons. You have everything at your fingertips to be able to learn this business, learn how to fix stuff, learn how to test stuff, all that kind of stuff. There's
YouTube
just
is your friend,
there is. There's so many ways out there. But yeah, if I don't know how to test it, I jump on YouTube and I try and find out how to test it through YouTube. Some things we can't test. Some things I've sold recently compressors that are 3-phase, and I don't have access to 3-phase to be able to check them. So I sell them as is at a huge discount, but I still make a ton of money on them. And
yeah, finding them at and that's where your money is made in the buy.
It is.
So if you can finding items at the right price, that's where your money's made. So, and we've said that before, because if you getting stuff at that good deal, like we have to be able to pass up stuff that we could still make money on, but it's kind of they're higher price. So we just decide, no, it's not, we can't meet them where they need to be. And so it's not worth it.
Yep. So there's too many other good deals out there that you can find and make great money on. So, what else you had much success selling items as a bundle, but have found separately. I've done that too. It all just depends on what you're selling. I mean, we bought a lot of, the first thing that comes to my mind is we bought a lot of baseball cards from the flea market. I don't know. It was probably a year or two ago.
Like 3 years ago.
Was it 3? Anyways, it was a big, I mean, it fit onto a big, a regular pallet, but it stood like 5 foot tall. And they're all just common cards. I don't think there was anything, I didn't go through them all, but I don't think
you wanted to.
I know, but it was way overwhelming.
So many cards.
Yeah, there's no possible way. So collector, I'm sure a collector bought them, and we paid, don't quote me on it because I can't remember, but it was like $200 for them. We sold them for $1,400 or $1,500. And there's
probably some good cards in there that we could have sold for more, but you didn't have to.
No, I didn't have the patience or the time to screw with it. So definitely you can lump stuff together, and I recommend it on items that aren't worth as much as single items that you can lump together and sell all together. Right. Yeah, I would do that in a second, because our business model is to sell less and make more money doing it. So that's what we try and do. So if you can do that, by all means, try to do it.
Yeah. Cool. I think we're caught up,
awesome.
Guys. The questions, great questions. It's awesome. We have so much fun when you guys are on here.
Cool.
If you have any other questions, go ahead and throw them in, and then we'll, head off here.
Yeah.
But we definitely think that this is the
best time ever.
Huge business for this year.
It is.
If you've been thinking about it, and even if you're not ready to jump into the big items, there's so much money in the small items too. But there's going to be so much stuff that's given away, thrown away in the next months, year. Like it's definitely a good time to
it's the best. And that was our question. Some of you guys that jumped on late, is this a great time to be selling on eBay in 2020? And yes, it is 100%. There is so many tools at your fingertips. There's so many items that are going to be at your fingertips. I mean, right now, like I said, we've been doing it for years and years and years. We've provided for our family this way. But even now, more than ever, through a recession, through a hard time, there's businesses that are going out of business. You can find amazing deals. It's just the best time ever to jump into this business. And we don't recommend people going crazy with it, buying trucks, trailers, forklifts. Start wherever you're at. That's what we recommend people doing. And then grow in it. If you start to like it, if you start to see great results, grow with the business. Then you can buy those extra tools, buy the truck, buy the trailer, once it's starting to pay for itself. So you're not going into debt doing that kind of stuff. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, and our kids are even getting into it now. So we're really excited. They've been starting to go to the flea market and see what they could maybe. Well, they want to buy toys. So that's their ultimate goal. But then they play with them, only use them for a little bit, and then they just sit there. So we're like, well, let's sell them. So we're trying to teach them to be able to do this too. So that's pretty fun. It is. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to watch them. Get a couple more quick questions. Cool. Quick tips on how to source profitable items. Tips on sourcing. I mean, what I do is offer up, let go, Facebook Marketplace. And jump on there, once or twice a day. Search 5-10 minutes. Yeah. Vic, you're in our group too. We're doing a training on Wednesday night. So we're going to go through sourcing on Facebook Marketplace and offer up. So definitely jump onto that on Wednesday night. It's I posted it in the group the other day. So awesome. Definitely look for that. But jump on that. I mean, that's the best way to source is on those local venues. Yeah, and the same way we did it on the road trip. I just, wherever I was, I jumped in. That's your favorite place to source is just local apps. So. And it's taking it from that local market where people can't get as much money because it's local. They're limited to and putting it onto a bigger market like eBay. So, great question. What small items have bigger profit potential? Some electronics can. We don't do a lot of electronics, but people do well with them. Vintage electronics definitely have $500, $600, $700. You have a lot of potential with vintage electronics. I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, I was looking today, not even really looking for this, but we're known for prosthetic legs. There's 3 prosthetic legs in Orlando. It's crazy. 3 prosthetic legs, $50. It might've been $50 for all of them, but I don't need to mess with anything right now. Those are small, can ship in a box, very easy to do.
Photography, like cameras, and I mean that kind of I guess falls under electronics. But and I just sold a vintage camera for $200 that we found for $25.
And that was at Goodwill.
At Goodwill,
we sourced that from a thrift store.
So if you know electronics and you want to dabble in them, they're a great place to find higher profit, smaller items.
That's another tip that we like to give is whatever you enjoy, whatever your hobby is, whatever your business or whatever you work at right now, start with that because you already have some experience in that arena. If you're a photographer, you know cameras, you know lenses, you know accessories and stuff like that. You might be able to find some sweet deals on cameras and especially vintage stuff that's worth some great money. In the local market, not so much, but on eBay, it will sell for some good money. And that's for any industry. Auto mechanic, you know tools, you know Snap-on toolboxes, you know stuff that is worth money because you're in that industry. Start with that industry and then start there and then start branching out from there. When you're sourcing in a thrift store, pull up some stuff that looks like it's expensive, do some research, and you just start building your knowledge slowly. And that's how you get good at this business. So
do you think electric cooktops sell faster than gas cooktops? I have my new gas cooktop. Oops, sorry, I lost that comment. My first one listed for about a week and several offers, and I'm less than the competition.
I don't honestly think there's a rhyme or a reason. I think both of them sell great, electric and gas. We've sold both, many of both of them. And
sometimes it's waiting just for the right person who wants them and making sure, your listing has all of the things that it needs to have, the title and description. So it's searchable, but sometimes it's waiting for the right person too.
Exactly.
So who's redoing their kitchen and wants the one that you have and you have it at a good price. So just because if you're priced competitively, I wouldn't just wait a week and drop the price. So that's not, I mean, I'm all for selling things as fast as I can because that's not always his thought, but I want to move things. But you don't need to drop it after a week. You can wait a little bit on some stuff like that.
Yep. So. Unless you're just trying to move it, then move it.
Yeah.
Drop it to.
If you have watchers, you can drop it a little bit.
Or you can even send offers to people who are watching it on eBay. So you can do that as well if you want to drop it and try and get rid of it quick. Yeah. So.
True. Are those trainings available on replay? I don't know if you are talking about our group trainings. We have all of our stuff that we do live on our Facebook pages on there. We do also do group trainings for our members group who are in local universities. So. And those are, what did I hit? Are still on there too. Comments. All right. Are you in Orlando? Yep, we are in Orlando. Both of us, Central Florida, born and raised.
That's it.
We'll be here forever. Got lucky finding working bill with charger, hard case, extra battery on first haul. Awesome.
Nice.
Thanks for your tip. All right, I think they just blocked those legs. They blocked a wheelchair I sourced. Facebook sometimes does block weird things. They're on a power trip. So
very weird. So, you do find that kind of stuff, and they will block it. But as for prosthetic legs, you can sell them on eBay. eBay won't block that stuff.
Yeah.
They more of Facebook and eBay don't like the stuff that is prescription.
Right.
Prescription medical stuff. You can't. It's in their bylaws that they don't want you to sell it. Facebook just recently started that crap. If you stay away from the stuff that's prescription, you're 100% safe.
Yes, he's in the group. Awesome. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading this. Yes, if you're in the group, then those will be on replay as well.
Sweet.
Do you transport stuff for other people on UShip? No,
I do not.
That could be something that you.
Yeah, but to do that, you have to probably have license, insurance, and that kind of stuff. And we make too much money flipping to dabble in that kind of stuff. So, and that's more of a headache. If you're looking for a business to get into, it's definitely something that you could do in your spare time. And I met a couple people when I used to ship a lot more stuff through UShip. I met local carriers that were just mom and pops that would bid on an item and they would pick it up and
so they try to get a couple items and go up to the same area and then do the same thing on the way back.
Yeah.
So it could be a good thing, but I
don't want to do that. I'd rather buy my own stuff and just flip it.
You'd rather get to the place, deliver it, and then pick up more stuff and bring it back.
Exactly. Bring it back.
But it definitely could be good.
Yeah.
I set several offers for the cooktop. No rush to move it. I was just curious. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. The cooktops can be great for sure.
Yeah.
Facebook blocked some PJ Masks kids item recently because of the word mat.
Crazy.
In the title.
It is. Melissa said it's power trip. So they whatever they want to do, they're
on their own agenda.
Yeah. And if you don't know that being on Facebook, I mean, there's just some crazy stuff that they block and they post. They allow to post. So it's just what it is.
Yeah. It's
kind of deal with it.
And you can try to repost it again or do it on OfferUp. You know, you never know. Like there's a whole different market on OfferUp than Facebook too. So, and Craigslist too. There's a lot of people on Craigslist. We bought some things on the road on Craigslist too.
Craigslist has been out the longest. So if you're in small towns, go to Craigslist. Start looking on Craigslist for stuff that's posted. They've been out the longest for the resale market on apps. So you're gonna find a lot more people know about Craigslist and they're comfortable with Craigslist, and they won't switch over to Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp or any of that new stuff. They're still posting on Craigslist. So
no, it seems safer.
Exactly. Just try it. Try Craigslist. So
there's still a lot of people there.
Yep.
The Facebook block a fencing foil, a DNA testing kit, a box of drugstore stuff. Yep.
Insane.
So
throw it on eBay, because eBay will not block. If it's not a prescription item, then they won't block it. They'll let you do it.
Yeah,
so
they definitely are a lot more lax. So it's the prescription medical stuff that they definitely pull pretty quick usually. So it takes a day sometimes, but
yeah. Cool. Well, you guys rock.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for jumping on here and
sure.
Asking all the questions. We love doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll be back on next Monday. Super excited to jump on and talk with you guys.
We'll have that bus wash sold.
Maybe it might be sold. We'll bring another topic in for you guys for us to go over, and then you guys can ask some questions. But yeah, awesome.
All right, thanks guys so much.
We will sign off. You guys have a great week. Go find some sweet stuff to sell, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, see you later.
See ya.
Bye.